Yo, what's up and welcome back to AT Vlogs. Today we're going to be checking out Bremer. Bremer is a streetwear brand owner, and today we're actually going to check out how he screen prints his brand. His brand is actually called Unfinished Legacy. You can actually get a lot more information on his channel about how you can go about screen printing, which is something that I actually also want to eventually do myself. So you can go there and you can learn a lot more when it comes to designing and screen printing. I think it's a pretty cool print when you actually print, a huge print on a t-shirt where it fills most of the t-shirt. Yeah, mostly when I print my stuff, it's usually A4, and it's actually pretty cool to see that you can actually scale it up and print something that is actually larger.
Yo, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bremer, and in today's episode I'll be walking you guys through how I screen print personally. And in this video specifically, I'll be going through the design, getting the transparency ready, coating the screen, burning the screen, preparing the screen, and printing an actual t-shirt. So this is like a couple-day process. We filmed from like various days. For you guys, if you know screen printing, it does take a couple days. Sometime when you coat the screens, you have to leave them overnight to dry, and then the next day you gotta burn them, wash them, and it's just very tedious for time. But yeah, this is the whole process of how I screen print t-shirt for my brand.
So it looks like he uses Photoshop, but you can also use an alternative free software that I've actually spoken about in that streetwear interview.
Sick. Oh, okay, we're getting somewhere.
You should talk through it. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. So with screen printing, basically working with layers. Each color will be its own screen, and basically the way it works is I'll come here and I'll select the same fill color, and when I'm printing, I just basically match these two to create this. And the more color that's just a quick example.
This process is certainly a lot different than heat-wet transfer. I don't think you actually go through these processes when you actually use heat-wet transfer to print on your t-shirts.
Quite all the way matched, but that's how it would look. It'd be two different screens. The first one is the lighter layer, the second one is the dark layer. Saving the file as a PDF here on my little flash drive. Save PDF. The reason I'm saving it as a PDF because when you go to the print shop, it doesn't scale, so it stays the same size. All right, so all the files are in here. We're about to hit the screenshot.
When I go to print my t-shirts, usually I just go with a PNG, and that's a transparent file where the design literally has no background in. It's just transparent, a PNG. But the idea of actually saving your design in PNG, or maybe saving it in a Adobe Illustrator format, so as you are scaling your design or as you are making it larger, it keeps the same high quality.
My laptop just in case anything goes wrong, but everything is here. But just got the Transparencies. I decided to go here because it's closest to our studio, but you could go anywhere from either your local shop for printing. FedEx is a great place too as well, but this is the closest. Yeah. So right now, since the print shop only prints 11 by 17, and these graphics are way bigger than that, I've decided to get it printed on two separate sheets, and then I'm just taping everything together so you can see the bigger.
This seems like a tedious process. Nice. This seems like a lot goes into the final product, as you can see. So I'm just gonna assume that this is the process that actually any screen printing shop actually goes through when they're making designs for people. So I can understand why they actually always wanna do a lot more units for people and not just do one t-shirt, because the process to actually do the screen and to undo the screen and all that, as you can see, it takes a whole lot of preparation and stuff like that. So I can actually understand why they always wanna start maybe at a minimum of 10 t-shirts, such as where the place I actually print at Brooklyn. It's always at a minimum of 10 t-shirts and above. So yeah, I actually get it.
Here are all the 4 different screens. So that's the first one, second, third, and then the 4th. So all these screens are gonna make up one design, so 4 different colors. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna go burn it, and then we'll just wash all of them. Alright, so right now this is my burning unit. It's 25 by 36, which it's big enough for me to fit most of my screens, but there's a lot of different ways you could burn a screen. I know like one that a lot of people talk about, it's like you could literally expose it right outside with the sun, but this one just made things easier for me. And if you don't, you could buy even like a small light kit from like your local art store. Blick is recommended, but and my timer doesn't change, so I leave the same timer. It works for all my graphics. All right, so
I guess you don't have to actually buy a fancy light box just for your screens, guys. You can actually use a light, just like you said, or use the sun. I don't know about the sun. You gotta be somewhere in direct heat, and it's gotta be hot as hell for that to actually work. So yeah, but I actually recommend the light bulb thing. It only takes a certain watts for it to actually work really well, for it to bend the screen evenly. So yeah, I actually recommend that. You don't have to buy anything fancy or put it out in the sun where you're not actually sure if that's gonna work.
all right, so I just got done burning this one, so I'll take it off, and then I'll go wash it off. But quick tip: when you're burning the screen, you want your design to be opposite. I actually made the mistake recently and burned everything inverted. So you just want to make sure like the back of it, you can read it backward, because then when it goes right on here, it will be straight. So you can kind of see it from the inside. And then a lot of times I'll know the design burnt well if there's like a I don't know, like an outline of it right on the screen. So this one should wash out really easy. And this is how I do it. Like any of the techniques I'm showing you guys, it's not like, oh, you have to do this or you're gonna mess up. This is just over the years of me screen printing, I found that this works for me. So I'll just scrub with my hand with water, just like right on the back, and then I'll do the inside. That way it just breaks down the emulsion, and then I'll just wash it off really easy. So now you could already see like the designs coming to life.
By the way, guys, I'm just checking out this video with you guys so that I can just show you what happens when you actually decide to scale up and actually do this stuff yourself. I haven't gotten to the point of doing it myself. This is sort of like just for entertainment and just for, sort of like to see what other people are actually doing out there. Other channels that you can actually go out there and check out. Because one thing I know about, sort of like this small bubble of streetwear brands that are just coming up, it's like, they're not really pushed by the algorithm when it comes to a lot of social medias, even Instagram or YouTube and stuff like that. So this is me just putting you on to people you can actually go out there and check out, and be inspired by.
Alright, for me, since most of my designs are in that super complex, it makes it easier for me to like align everything. So I'll usually like print the first layer and then kind of eye everything. So I know the center. And this is after years of doing it. Like I have an idea of like where the center is and like what I kind of need to do to get like the lining.
I'm pretty sure when you actually first start with this, you actually mess up a lot. I'm pretty sure that a lot of screens are going to go to waste when I actually first start doing this myself, because lining up the screens and making sure that every color, every screen that you put on top actually lines perfectly, so that you don't actually get a t-shirt with lines that are actually out of like the bounds of the other color design and stuff like that. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah. Hopefully I get to do that soon, man. Just don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, man, hopefully we're gonna get there. Hopefully we're gonna get there.
Easy. As I said, like most of my designs are in that complex, and 4 color isn't too bad. So the first layer, as you could see, it's kind of like in the middle. And then I'll match the second color, print that, and then the third color, which goes right around it.
So 3 colors, 3
It's just a
screens,
bunch of like layering.
and you have to line them perfectly so that you don't mess up the design. That's crazy, bro. That's yo.
Yeah, so right now I'm just aligning the second color to the first color that I did, like the under base. And it looks like I have to pull the other one forward just a little bit, so I'll just print this one and then lift it up. It's not matched completely, but I'm pretty close. So as you can see, it's a little offset, so that means I just gotta pull this.
You see, guys, that's exactly what I was talking about. The difficulty in actually lining up all those screens just so that you actually make sure that you don't mess up and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's an actually tedious job, but once you get it right, I'm pretty sure it's just smooth sailing. So as you can see right, they also just did a mistake. So yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Pull this one just a little bit higher and shift it just a little bit. But also sometimes, like for my personal style, I don't like everything to be perfect. That's just my own aesthetic. So I would even like consider just running with this. But for the purpose of this video, I'll make sure everything matches, because this is not what everyone is looking to do with their designs, I guess. All right, so here's just a quick test print. So I printed on the back of the shirt, and then also the first test print was this one. It's kind of blotchy because I didn't match it completely the first time. So the second one, much cleaner. Everything matched perfectly. All right, so now I'm ready to just go do a whole run. So I'll go ahead and print this one. This t-shirt right here. Do right front. And a lot of times, like, so most graphic will fall 4 fingers. So 4 fingers from the collar. So I use this as like reference a lot of times.
I think the biggest advantage to actually printing your own designs is that you can actually pay a lot more attention to how you actually want your design to actually end up looking like on your own t-shirt. So you can actually get to freestyle and have a lot more freedom than actually just going to a printing shop where they're actually going to have a lot more boundaries to what you can do and what you can't do. And sometimes, even if it's just a printing shop, it's rare to find a printing shop that actually cares about detail. Sometimes, you're going to get mistakes and everything like that. So I think this is pretty cool to actually do it yourself and do it the way you actually want it to be. But I actually understand that when we are first coming up, for the most of us, this is not going to be something that we're just going to be able to jump on and do by ourselves. We are actually just going to have to work with somebody. And even though sometimes they're going to mess up your t-shirts, that's just what you gotta work with for the time being until you can actually scale up and do it yourself.
Again, this is the first layer. So the first couple layers, this is just like flash drying it, so when I do the second layer, it doesn't stick, and the ink is dry. So just a couple seconds, and like you could the more you do it, the you get a better idea of like how long you need. And then this is the second layer, the black. As you can see, it came out really good. So I'll flash dry this one, and then ready for the third layer. And then this is the last color here. I didn't match this one quite yet, but I'll just do that right now because it's a little easier to match the last red color.
That's actually dope. But imagine how much work you actually have to put into this, especially when you're printing probably like 100 or 200 t-shirts, 200 units. This has to be some back-breaking work, man. So you gotta appreciate these upcoming starting brands, man. They actually put in a lot of work and sweat into making designs that actually sell, designs that you actually appreciate and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it looks like it takes a lot to actually do this, man, for real.
I think the most stressful thing about screen printing is like when you're doing work for clients, it gets really like tricky because everything has to be perfect. That's why I personally don't take any client work, because I find it to be more stressful because I put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure everything is right. Whereas in like with my own personal projects, I'll just kind of, free flow it. And if I mess up, like there's room, like I allow room for mistakes. Whereas in like, if I'm doing like a paid gig, like you can't mess up. Everything has to be perfect. And a lot of time gets really stressful, and it takes the fun away from it. So I'll just make sure all the corners are at 320 degrees. All right, there you go. Final print.
So there you go, guys. That's how you actually screen print your stuff and stuff like that. All these brands out there that are actually doing their own printings and stuff like that. This is sort of like a sneak peek into what actually goes on behind the scenes on what actually goes down when these brands are actually, you know, printing this stuff and stuff like that. And for me, I think it's really interesting to see, because this is sort of like a foreshadowing of where I'm eventually going to be at myself, and you as well watching, you know, this video with me. You know, we are actually, you know, just sort of exploring, you know, all types of ways and exploring all types of people that can keep on inspiring us to do better, to do greater things. You know, right now I'm just going to be paying homage to people that actually inspire me, and I'm going to be, you know, reacting to their videos and stuff like that, until I eventually also get to a point where I can actually start doing all these things that I'm actually watching with you guys right here. And hopefully you're going to actually get to that point too, man. So yeah, anyway, do not forget to like and subscribe,